Today we're looking at 5 stocks from the AI sector, which is extremely relevant right now. Why these 5 stocks are extremely strong, what catalysts they have in the coming weeks or months, and why I've personally added them to my watch list. All that in this video. Numbers, data, facts. Hi, I'm Marius from 10x Analytics, and on my channel it's all about data and not about hype. So grab a coffee, relax, leave a like for me, and then we'll get started right away. Let's start with the first stock, Duos Technology Group. What do they actually do? They ultimately operate small local AI data centers and AI cameras that essentially inspect trains. So, of course, an exciting narrative, definitely. On one hand, they have recurring revenue through the edge data centers, and AI cameras check, as I said, data security, meaning rail safety. And why there could be a catalyst now that's getting exciting is because the quarterly figures for Q2 are coming out on August 13th. The growth in AI data centers is massive, of course, and they have $50 million in cash flow. Market cap is currently around 250 million, so it's still a low cap. We'll take a look at everything else in detail now. Let's start right here in my dashboard on investing.com Pro. That's my analysis partner. I can highly recommend investing.pro. It's extremely powerful if you want to analyze stocks. You really have all the data you need. All the info is down in the video description. You also get a discount if you use my link. But let's move on to Duos Technologies. As mentioned, we have a market cap of about 350 million, and the valuation is such that investing.com has actually calculated that they're a bit overvalued at the moment, with the fair value at $7.54. Currently, we're at $11.76. So much for that. Analysts say that it's actually rather undervalued. Also interesting, there are always a few differences, of course, but let's take a look at the whole thing directly on the chart now. I use TradingView, which I think many of you know, and my own 10x indicator, which basically shows two things, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let's first take a look at the actual chart now. We had a massive increase here. The indicator also made a small green dot. A small green dot means a bullish trend reversal. We then rose by almost 90%. That's huge for a stock, of course. But now there was a big red dot, meaning technically in terms of the chart, we're in the overbought zone. You definitely have to be careful now. After that, we were also sold off by 20%. We are generally in an overbought zone. This here is the overbought zone, down here rather the oversold zone. That means the potential for a major correction is now there, and we still have plenty of room to the downside. When I personally would enter Duo Technologies would be when we get back down into these areas and a large green dot forms. Then those are slowly areas where we'd be oversold and an exciting entry would be possible. So much for Duos for now. Let's move on to the next one. The next one on the list is Serve Robotics. Now, of course, the question you're asking yourself is, what is Serve Robotics? First of all, market cap is about 650 million, so also still relatively low. And what does it do? Essentially, it builds self-driving sidewalk robots that deliver food and goods in cities. So, an extremely exciting thing. The advantages are the robot fleet is growing massively, especially in US cities. New delivery partnerships were signed in 2026, and there's strong year-over-year revenue growth. Why exciting now? Well, the quarterly figures are coming on August 18th, 2026. The fleet is scaling and they naturally have new delivery partnerships. So extremely strong, relevant narratives and an exciting product for sure. Let's definitely take another look at the whole thing here in investing.pro. We have it down here. At the moment, it's actually below value, so undervalued, extremely exciting. And the true value is approximately, according to investing.pro, not financial advice, of course, at 9.27. Currently, that's in dollars. Currently, $7.75 is the price. And essentially, it's marked as extremely undervalued. So an exciting project. But as always, let's look at the chart for it next. Chart pattern is actually similar if you think about it. We're in the lower area here, but within the range, we're more in the middle area here. That means the downside potential is definitely still there. If the entire stock market corrects, then Serve Robotics will naturally correct as well. Therefore, there's still room to the downside. Here too, I'd wait until we form a large green dot, arrive in an oversold zone, and then that would be an exciting entry point for me. Currently though, there's a high risk that they'll naturally be dragged down by the overall market correction. So much for that. On to the next one. The next one is BigBear.ai Holdings. Also an extremely exciting company. What it does, essentially it uses AI to turn messy data into fast decisions for defense, but also security. The advantage they currently have is that they're getting AI contracts from defense and of course the intelligence services, and they have the first commercial AI deployment in shipping, plus a growing multi-year order backlog, which is obviously extremely good for a company. It's also relevant there because the new quarterly figures are coming out in Q2 and they could be very, very strong. Demand for defense AI is rising rapidly, of course, and they've taken their first commercial shipping application live. Market cap is around 2 billion, so it's already more in the upper range. But let's take a look at the whole thing here as well. We're up here. According to Investing Pro, we're essentially slightly overvalued here. The real value would be at $3.18. We're currently at $4.20. Analysts see it as slightly undervalued, but overall it's more in the weak range. As I said, the market cap is already higher than the others so far. Now let's look at the whole thing on the chart. How does it look there? We're also more in the upper range here. Not completely overbought yet, but still in a risky area. Recently we also had a small red dot. That means a possible bearish trend reversal. Then it fell by almost 20%. I'd be careful here right now too. We're in no man's land. It could still go down significantly further. That's why I'd be extremely careful here at the moment. Same sign here. If we go down here and land there, then it'll get exciting for me. By the way, you can also use the 10x indicator yourself because I post regularly. For example, you can follow me on X. I post chart analyses there regularly, but of course I can't always post everything completely live. So if you want to use the indicator, if you want to see when a big green dot forms, meaning we're entering the oversold area, then I'll link a QR code for you here. You can take a look at everything else. Next up, we have Pharma, another exciting company. But what makes the company so special now? It uses artificial intelligence to find and test new cancer drugs faster and more cheaply. So a very, very exciting narrative. The advantage, AI naturally speeds up the drug discovery process, and early studies have already met all their goals so far. In other words, they also have several more cancer studies in the pipeline. And here are the catalysts. On the one hand, as with the others, the quarterly figures coming out now, but also a study update in August 2026. They've met all goals so far, and the cash runway update is coming in September with a market cap of just 25 million, which is extremely low. Let's take a look at this again here on Investing Pro. We are essentially at a fair value according to Invest Pro, and analysts even say that it's valued extremely cheaply. At only 45 million, just imagine that. But now let's also look at the whole thing in the chart, as always. What does the chart say? On the chart, an exciting similar picture. We are here in the lower area, but if you look at the whole overall picture again, then it gets a bit more critical here. We're in the middle range, so there's definitely still potential to the downside. I would also wait here until we form a large green dot. Then that would be an exciting, interesting zone for a possible entry for me, because as I said, we're still in the middle range here. Downside potential is still there. But now let's come to the last one, Rekor Systems. What makes this company stand out? Essentially uses AI cameras to read road traffic and license plates in cities. Very relevant. Advantages are recurring software revenues have been rising in recent months, and they've won new nationwide security contracts. So very relevant. And a cost reduction, they are of course aiming for a positive cash flow. What is relevant now and why? On the one hand, the quarterly figures that are coming, of course, which are coming in August this year, they could of course be significantly more positive. And they have signed a new contract. Market cap 110 million, so relatively low. Let's take a look at it here again. We are here at Rekor Systems according to Invest Pro at fair value, and analysts even say that it is extremely undervalued. 100 million, as I said, roughly the market cap at the moment. Let's look at the whole thing in the chart again. How does it look there? Yes, they already had a massive increase here, but then were sold off massively. At the moment, we are also in the middle range here, in my view, extremely dangerous, that range. Personally, I would wait until we get into the oversold zone and a large green dot forms. Then I would analyze further and look for a possible entry point. That's it so far with the 5 AI stocks, extremely exciting in my view. Here we have everything in an overview again. In my view, Duo Technologies is above all one of the most exciting of these 5, but all 5 of course also have completely different approaches and areas why they are exciting. If you want to see more stock videos like this, where I present 5 stocks, then please subscribe to my channel now. With me, as I said, it's only about data and not about hype. I'm presenting really exciting projects here. Feel free to subscribe. And now I'll link another video for you here. Have fun watching. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.